Hey, what do you know? It went off without a hitch. Hi, everyone. Hey, guys. How are you doing tonight?
How's it going?
Before we get started, I wanted to apologize for last week's live stream. I know I was scheduled to do one with my friend Rick Terrell. Unfortunately, unforeseen circumstances, I had to cancel, but I promise I'll get him back in the near future. Gentlemen, first we got to say hi to my buddy Branton. How you doing, Branton?
I'm doing good. I'm making sure I'm on the right internet here. I always forget to change it over when I come in the fish room.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, our guest tonight, some of you may already know.
You should be good. Yeah, I'm doing good.
This is Mike Howe. He is the owner and operator of the Fish Barn. Some of you may follow him on YouTube. Wanted to bring Mike on a while ago because we breed a lot of the same fish, and I never had the opportunity to talk to him directly. So I appreciate him coming in to hang out with us tonight. So how's it going tonight, Mike?
Not bad. It's been a busy week, but heading towards the holiday, I've got next week off, so a lot of work planned for the fish room. My daughter's coming home Wednesday from college for a few days, so so pretty excited.
Cool. Yeah, isn't it amazing on our days off? We really don't have days off. We're in the fish room.
Right.
But anyway, thought we could talk a little bit about anything tonight, but one of the things, Branton's starting to get into some of the critically endangered fish, and I think he got bit by the goodiad bug. And I just thought we'd talk about some things maybe we've seen in the hobby recently, anything we have learned, anything that we found of concern, or anyone in the chat. If you have a question, feel free to ask us. If I miss the question, please let me know, because it's kind of hard for me to multitask with this stuff, and I don't want to anyone to think I'm being disrespectful. So I watched your stream last night, and it looks like you got a lot of new stuff. I was pretty impressed with some of the ones you got.
Yeah, I was surprised because I always keep saying I'm out of tank space, but then I find more tank space.
You find space when you find something you don't have. Yeah. So I was trying to think which one you showed. I'm like, I think it was.
It was the Dusky Millions fish.
So I have not seen those in quite a while. I don't know why. I haven't really seen them, at least in my area.
Yeah, they were at a local fish store. It was kind of interesting. At the club meeting, if you bring in stuff for like the Bull Show Breeders Award program, horticulture program, you get a raffle ticket and they give you a $25 gift card.
Oh, cool!
And so I won the $25 gift card to a store called Fishy Biz Aquatics in Farmington Hills, Michigan. You see me do a lot of shorts.
Yeah.
If I get tired of filming in my own fish room, I'll go there and film shorts.
Yeah.
So I'll film a lot of shorts of fish that he has and stuff like that. So I'm over there, and he occasionally will get in some rare stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, like I won't go a lot of times to the fish store because I'm just not going to find anything I want. Right.
Yeah. Same here.
And so I went there, and I was either going to get food or just something or whatever. But he had those there. I was like, oh yeah, and they were pretty reasonably priced too. I think I paid for 6 of them. I think I paid. After my $25 gift card, it was like $6 or something.
That's not bad at all, actually.
So,
yeah,
nice.
And there was those, and I think maybe the Xiphophorus species Reggio, which is an undescribed platy species.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were talking about Kurt Bitterling before, but he was getting out of the hobby, I guess, sort of. But so he's had these now at a couple of auctions over the fall, and I'm like, and I've made an effort to buy them, both times. Kind of curious what they turn out like, and I think they're just because there's not anything on the internet that I could find on them. So I think they're just kind of a brown or grayish platy species with splotch markings on them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
are they from around Mexico?
They're from Mexico. I have the Santa Ana River.
Okay. Yeah.
So took me a second to remember what the name was.
I can't keep all of mine straight. If I don't have my tanks labeled, some of them I can't keep straight. So trust me, I get it.
I keep them on a Google sheet.
Hmm.
I have a Google sheet where I have them broken out by by Goodeids, Placilids, Xiphophorus, and then all the.
Sure. Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
actually going to pull it up now so that I realize I'm talking to you. I might need it.
That makes me feel a lot better because there's sometimes I should probably do that when I'm streaming because sometimes I'll talk about something and then I'll just completely go blank. So,
And I do that. I label the tanks in the fish barn too for that reason. If I'm like under the gun in a live stream,
yep.
I don't want to blank out and be like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of, is it all right if I clue everyone in here, Branton, about what happened to you yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before?
What's that?
Los Pinos?
Oh yeah, that's fine. That
Okay.
was, I can't remember when I sent you that text. I want to say it was
A couple days
Monday?
ago. Maybe
Yeah,
it was.
It was either Monday or Friday.
So, folks, Branton has his first drop of Crocodon Audax Los Pinos. And like I told him, hold on to those because Mike can tell you that that's a species it's really hard to breed. And Mike and I are affiliated with a couple organizations working with those. I'm very fortunate. How are yours doing for you, Mike? Are they breeding?
Not bad. Did you get them from the ALA SCAT program?
Yes, sir, I did.
Yep.
And you know what? I got mine June or July last year. And I'm going on my third or fourth generation. And I'm currently rearing probably about 50 juveniles right now.
Wow, you're doing way better than I am. I've got a handful.
Yeah.
I got them about this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I started out with 6. And then I split up the trios into 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of recombined them. But I think I've gotten they had a really nice drop of fry like the first, like right in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe there've been a couple, but I need to add some more rock work to the bottom.
Yep.
I think that's on my. I have some, but I need to kind of mess with that tank a little bit more and put the rock work to in the bottom of it, maybe.
Yeah, and Brandon, it looks like you said she dropped quite a few. You just weren't.
Oh yeah, at least 10. I mean, it's hard to count them all at once.
It is, yeah.
And my tank setup is, I guess, from the way you guys are talking about it, a little bit different than your guys's. So this tank setup is like literally the whole bottom of the tank is just a bunch of Java moss, and then I've got a bunch of like guppy grass and polysperma like floating. And so it's just like a giant jungle, and they seem to do pretty well in there.
I can see that working too. I've done that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I said there's quite a few tanks in my fish room that are like that too.
The only thing that may come down with the crocodons as they get a little older, if you get more than 1 or 2 males in there, you may start getting some aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to dwarf cichlids. So like Mike and I were talking before we started, having some rock work or something to break up the water column so that they can hide or when they need to feel secure. When I first got El Tabasso, I got 6 of them from a gentleman, and they were probably about 4 or 5 months old. The one female killed all of them other than her. And then I was like, I'm not getting them anymore. Ended up breaking down, getting another set. But what it was is they needed those barriers. So like for what you have right now, the way you've got them set up, you have them set up as trios. But if you start getting more than 1 or more than 2, I can sometimes get away with 2. But if I found more than 2 in a tank, you can really get some aggression going on, especially when they're at about 4 or 5 months old, when they're ready to start breeding for the first time.
Yeah.
But,
I have to say the Los Pinos are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that male I have is just beautiful.
Is he red or black? Like the ones I seem to have are like red and black on the tails.
Yeah, mine are red and black. Yep.
So I'm going to have to share some bloodlines with you guys. I have some that are almost like a bright pink, like a metallic pink, trimmed in a little red and black. So I know from those lines from the ALA, there was a couple color variants, and from what I understand, that's pretty normal with those. I think I'll tell you what. Nothing against El Tabasso because I know everyone likes El Tabasso. I personally kind of prefer Los Pinos over. I still like the El Tabasso, but Los Pinos is the one that I kind of like.
That was like the holy grail fish for me, so I was happy to get it for, paying shipping and sending it a list.
Well, that's what I like about the SCAP program with American Library Association, is if you're a member and you can find these connections. And it was funny because I didn't know that Los Pinos was in the mix with the ALA. So I was talking to my friend Tim Habinger. He said, Ed, I have them. When do you want them? And it was like, it couldn't have been more perfect. From that's when they asked me if I would be a part of the committee for the SCAP program. And I've really been focusing a lot on that. I really like our SCAP program. I'm pretty partial to it. And most people really like sharing and stuff. And it's a really good way of getting some bloodlines of fish. So,
yeah, I actually need to reach out to Tim. I have Aldonyctes tamazule, and I literally have 3 males. So I need to find females for those.
Yeah.
And it's on my list of things to do is to reach out to him.
Yeah.
He can help me find some.
He's amazing, and God bless him for everything he does for the ALA. I'll be talking to him. He says, I got this to do. And that's why I try to support him as best I can when I can.
Yeah. Like I met him in Florida when I went down to the ALA in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Did you go this last year?
No, it was too far. And it was like around like when my daughter was graduating high school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It was just like, it's just not really.
Yeah.
And I like to bring stuff with me, like fish and stuff for the show.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, and I looked at the drive from Michigan, and it's like 20 hours. And like, I mean, I could do it.
But do you really want to? I get it.
But then I was like, oh.
Yeah, Kentucky this year coming up would be a lot easier for me to do.
Oh yeah, for me that's a 6-hour, no big. Yeah. Jump on I-75 and like, which is a mile from my house.
Yeah.
Jump on I-75 and get off like wherever it is, then in Lexington.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, I've never been to an ALA convention. So I'm looking.
I got started in live bears with is the ALA convention.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the one in Grand Rapids in 2018, and that's kind of where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
With YouTube, and a lot of things actually started at that 2018 ALA convention. I met Corey, and he was hanging out with Corvus Oskin at the time, and I met them, and we went, palled around for a while, and I started kind of getting into the live bears, and then kind of started going to the clubs and doing all the stuff, and that's kind of how I started with live bears and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have Greg Sage to blame for me. So he's been a really good friend, and he's helped me a lot along the way. And he, but like I said, there aren't too many people that really focus in, and what I think happens sometimes is a lot of people don't understand them, and then bad things happen and they get out of them for whatever reason. So one of the things, like I said, I like following you is because there, in my opinion, and this is nothing against any of the other creators, there aren't too many of us that are really talking husbandry and really talking about critically endangered fish. And I'd really like to see a lot more people do that.
Yeah, because Goodeids, like for YouTube, right? Goodeids they're gray, and people don't, who aren't into it, right? For the general masses, right? It doesn't make, not a huge number of people are going to go to that video.
Right.
Like I have a video that I did back in my younger days of YouTube on like a yellow lab care guide, right? Mm-hmm. That video has like 75,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you do a Goodeids video, it's going to get like 1,000 maybe.
Well, I get that, but I'm sure you'll agree there are some Goodeids that as they mature get some really nice color.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you put them outside in a tub and they get the sheens and everything on them like that. So
my Xenotoga variata Jesus Maria, they're so gold spangled they almost look like a disco ball.
Yes.
And people are like, wow, what kind of fish? I'm like, that's a Goodeids. So
Yep.
Yeah, see, and I'm thinking maybe that's why my Los Pinos male, why I'm so obsessed with him, is because he's got that red and black, and then he's got like that like blue green sheen that goes across his whole body. But that tank that he's in gets natural light through the window, like for I don't know 4 or 5 hours of the day, and maybe that has something to do with why he's so pretty. You know, kind of like being out in the tub, I guess.
So the lights so the lights I have in my fish room are full broad spectrum. So it's just like sunlight. But I think one of the things too is with my Scyphias and stuff is I'm feeding them nori and algae. So it's a one ingredient and it's not all that byproduct. Because I've been feeding that for about a year now, and it's just so much better, and I have to worry about all of that. But that absolutely, I think, can contribute to it. We were actually talking a while back, is it something with the sun that helps them to either absorb different minerals that are different than if they wouldn't have them? But so the gold Scyphia francese, we had someone in our club that was breeding them outside over the summer. She brought them in. They were gold. And I'm sure, Mike, you've seen some that are pretty muted. They don't have a lot of color.
Yeah.
These were gold. And she just fed basic food to them, nothing that spectacular. So I'm wondering if there's a correlation there. So
yeah, I found though they lose it real quick though when you bring them inside. At least for me, they lose it like real quick. And now I don't feed, and I kind of went back and forth with someone who was on my channel quite a bit during the tub videos. He's like, you need to feed them more. You need to feed them more. I just let kind of follow like Dr. Ted Coletti and just kind of let nature take its course outside, right? You know, I rarely ever feed them. And I just let kind of like the Daphne and whatever natural bugs and microbes and whatever else is in the water, kind of feed them over the summer, and then I bring them back in and, you know, go from there.
Yeah, I wish I could do tubs or a pond outside, but I live in an area where there's, for lack of a better term, too many critters in the area that could eat the fish or cause a lot of damage. So I just chose not to do that.
Yeah, I've had pretty good luck. I mean, there's stuff here too, more than you would think living in like suburbia. But I mean, there's deer, there was a cat. There's cats that run around the neighborhood now. Somehow there's been like some feral cats that have moved into the neighborhood. Turkeys, hawks, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff now around here.
One of my neighbor.
The only thing that really messed with my tubs would be the raccoons.
Raccoons, yeah.
You know, the holes that I have drilled in the sides for overflows, I would stuff with filter cloths in case it overflowed. Nothing would come out. And it was like every morning I would go out there and I'd pick up the filter floss off the ground or, you know, stuff it back in there. But it's like they just like, you know, playing with whatever was in and around the tub.
Well, my neighbor a year or two ago got up one morning to find a bear and her 2 cubs right in the front yard, and he's only a few hundred feet, not too far down from my house. So apparently I've got some bear in the neighborhood. So yeah, I don't want to have to worry about
it. Well, I mean, the bear could just pick the tub up and dump it over too.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I'll be honest with you, for as many tanks I'm dealing with, I don't think I really need to work with ponds.
I though have found it's kind of funny though. I've actually found the tubs to kind of help me with fish that I've struggled with spawning.
I can see that.
I had the one that I'm the coordinator for, the Xenotoka eisenai from Nayarit, the original Gadaid in the hobby. Like I had that fish for 2 years and I could not breed it. The second I put it outside, it started breeding that last summer, not this summer, but the summer before I put it outside, it started breeding and it's not stopped since then. Lion's eye is like that for me. I'm just waiting for my bloodline of that to bottom out. And what's interesting is I've had them for a few years. They drop enough fry to sustain, but there's no way I'd be able to put some out in the hobby because I just can't take the risk. But they don't drop for me. I did that for Lion's Eye this summer too, and they didn't drop in the tub, but I had a very, very pregnant female, and she dropped. I put her in like a 2-gallon tank when I brought her in. She dropped like a few days later, and I've seen fry in the tank that I put them back into now,
Hmm.
kind of consistently now. So they're not eating them. So
Hmm. Yeah, my dowadry, I colony breed and with them, and I just leave the babies in. But it's getting so much to the point where I have to start taking babies out, or they're going to overpopulate the tanks. So that's what I was doing today with Amica splendens and a couple others. So you get so many in there, you got to watch. And I can't believe how many Amica splendens I took out of a 33-gallon tank today. So.
yeah, I got mine in a 75. I've kind of upgraded them over. That's like I think this is the oldest colony I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I've had those since 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and I've kind of been moving them up. And then I sold off some for a while, and then they kind of they got old, right, and they kind of reset themselves a little bit. So now
Mm-hmm.
and I stopped selling them at a certain point because I kind of realized what was going on with the group, right? I could
Mm-hmm.
realize, started to see like the older ones were kind of petering out. And so I left all the young ones and just kind of, I think the last time I sold those was maybe February of 2024,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe the fall of 24, but then I stopped. And then, so now they've started to come back, they've started to grow up a little bit, starting to like repopulate, see fry again. So, with those today, you have to watch too, because if it's starting to age out,
Yeah.
it gets kind of
Yeah, we kind of we touched base on this a little bit last night on your channel. I personally retire mine at 2 years. They can still produce after 2 years, but I find that it really takes a lot out of the female after she gets to a certain age. So I just 2 years, that's why I always keep a couple from each generation to mix my line in. And then, so I always have younger, because Greg always says this, and I believe this to be true from what I've seen. You're going to get your best drops before they hit a year, and then they can still produce up to a year. That's what I've seen, and so it's just something I've worked with. And then it's just my personal opinion. I take them out at 2 years, but they still produce after 2 years. I have an El Tabasso here. He's going on 5 years old, and he's my boy. But yeah, they can live up to about 5. I've heard of one that lived about 7.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I do that. But
Yeah, you would think they'd live a little bit longer than your average tropical fish, I guess. I mean, I'm sure the temperature has a lot to do with, I guess, prolonging that lifespan.
well, you have to look at it this way. Those females, they're not like a regular live bear. The babies are pulling nourishment directly from the mother through an umbilical cord. So if she's not getting the rest she needs, so I keep the female separated for a few weeks after, and if she's perpetually breeding, it's taking more nourishment from her. So that's probably one of the reasons why some of them don't age well, because it takes a lot out of them. So that's my what I always thought it was. But yeah, I've got some trout goodhead. They're going on 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of mine usually at around 3.5. So.
Yeah, I don't track it well enough to know which ones. I mean, like I said, my goal is I try to colony breed as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to get like that big group going.
Yep.
That's the goal. And then once I get that big group going, then I do sell some at that point,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that's kind of how I try and do it too. It's a little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
Though I'm starting to pull more now than I used to. I never pulled anything back, until like the last like year or so.
Mm-hmm.
I've just gotten to the point, like a lot of this too is like my hobby itself kind of started in saltwater, and part of what I did when I was in saltwater is I worked on this thing called the Marine Breeding Initiative, which was an online breeders award program for saltwater fish. So I always bred to get the BAT points, right? So to get the number, saltwater was just 8 fish, right? You had to get one of them because it was super hard to do. But I kind of didn't breed for numbers. I bred for getting to breed the fish. And so I've tried to, evolve a little bit from that to to try to get more numbers.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Branton, I'm going to be sending you a message here real quick.
Yeah. I forgot I had a pump going filling this tank. Oh.
Sorry, folks. While you're doing that, I'll scroll through the chat real quick and see.
Thank you.
If there's any questions.
So
Nick Hardwater Propagation says his splendens dropped fry for the first time this week. That's cool.
Cool. Great, Nick. Yeah, you had all males. That's cool. Now you'll be like me. I'm not exaggerating. If I don't have 200 to 250 downstairs, I don't have one. That's great, buddy.
So Aquarium Fantasy lives in Florida. There's a lot of stuff that can kill you. Yes, that's true. Let me scroll through here. I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's all right. Just trying to scrape down too. So, what seems to be the one fish that produces the most for you, Mike?
I think it's the Actinobius tower that I got. I've got two different locations.
Mm-hmm.
These are the ones from the Al Jui Spring.
Yeah, that's the one I don't have. I have Antiohetus.
Yeah, I have Antihetos that don't do as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten kind of old too, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find some more of those, I would. I'd get those. But they came from a gentleman. His name's Jim Craig. He's local from around here, and they're all over here now. Like everyone has them, and those are the ones that are throwing albinos.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, like one day, I looked down and there's a, call it a, white fish swimming around in there. I was like, oh. First I kind of thought maybe something got contaminated in there. Or there was a fry of something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a Actinobius tower.
Mm-hmm. And
then there's those. They're kind of like there's the 3 or 4 that are breeding pretty well for me right now. There's those, Mecha Splendid, Dodroy. Though I need to go through that colony. They seem to get some bent spines and stuff, and they're in a big mound of guppy grass and stuff. So I need to clean that tank out and figure out, clean that out. There's actually a couple more that I just got to think about. I have the ESU the Chapel 1 location of Chapeleuthis pardalis. And I have that. I got that from Josh Cook.
I have that one too. Yeah, they're producing like crazy for me.
Yeah, I have that one. I don't think very many people have that one. Most people have the Chapa 2, which does pretty well for me too. That one, and then the Eisenai that I have from Nayarit, those are doing really well now too. I'm almost at the point where I need to get some of those out to some people.
I don't have any Eisenai. I have the Lion's Eye and the Doadrui. So
yeah, like that's the original. Like so, I'm the global coordinator for that for Michael's Good 2025 project. So I need to get that out to some people. I don't want to, I don't want to say hand select, but like just be like, hey, Ed, do you want these? Right? I want to keep track of where they're at because their habitat was made into a Walmart.
Yep. And
so they came here from the original like Robert Rush Miller stock from the University of Michigan. They're from Langhammer. From Jim Langhammer, and that Bill Gillies had them and Jim Craig had them, and they're around here. I think Michael thought they were gone, but they're kind of hanging around here. I kind of keep my eye out at the auctions and stuff for them.
I've noticed your area has a lot of interesting bloodlines, and it's like one of these times I actually have to come to one of the auctions and just meet some of the people and see what they have.
The best bet is to go to the west side of the state. Like our area, the Detroit doesn't really see that much. But if you go to like Grand Valley or Swamis,
mm-hmm.
Like they're kind of more out there.
Okay.
I think the club, they kind of get a little perturbed with me because I go over there and I buy all their fish and then I take them back to Detroit.
Well, hey, there's people like that at some of the clubs in the area, but you know what? You're coming and supporting their club, so hey, what do
Yeah,
they
no, I mean
want?
they're not. It's not that.
Well, yeah, but I know it. Yeah,
You can tell it. Like I've had a couple of times, kind of in jest more than anything. Be
yeah,
like, hey, make sure you bring some of those back.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people ask me when I'm going to start bringing like some of the Krakodons, and I, I'll be honest with you. I'm happy to share them, but I'm pretty guarded with them. So I want to make sure they're getting the best care possible, and that's not, and that's yeah, and that's not me saying that I refuse to share them. I want to make sure the person's prepared for them.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If it's a rare and endangered, right? You want to have it. You want to make sure in case you lose yours for whatever weird reason, right?
Hence the reason why Mr. Branton has some of the Los Pinos.
Yeah. So right. So like for the I know of a couple people who have I have my list right of the
Mm-hmm.
people who have the eyes and eye for Mayor, but I do want to get it out to some folks to be like, hey, I'll if I run into you, like, hey, I'm almost to the point where I'm comfortable giving some of them away. But I don't want to just throw them in the club auction either and have them disappear into the
Hello?
abyss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. And that's the thing, is, for those that have followed my videos, is I kind of talk about this with clubs and how a lot of people don't understand the ESUs and things. And that's why I think it's important for folks like us that understand that to share that with folks so that they understand, because I can appreciate when people think they're doing what's best for the fish, but in actuality, and sometimes we're muddling the bloodlines. And the eyes and eye complex is a perfect example of that. So there's probably only a handful of people in the country I would consider getting any of the eyes and eye complex from, because we know it became a very popular fish in the hobby for clubs. And
All right, if you want to get your breeders reward points, you go buy them, and you don't have to have
yeah, exactly.
the information on them.
Yeah, I wish that would change. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think that if we're going to do BAP programs and we're going to do critically endangered fish, we need to respect both. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the bags of fish that I'll sell, they have the full,
Yeah.
the full. You probably have seen my list, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Scab. I mean,
Yeah.
it has the full who I bought them from, where they came from, what auction they were bought at.
Mm-hmm.
I keep all that.
And for those of you who might not know what the SCAP program is, the SCAP program is similar to a Breeders' Award program with the ALA. But here's what's different about it. They encourage you to work with conservation fish. They encourage you to keep ESUs, all of that. But they're also encouraging you to share them with groups and group members in the ALA. And it's a really good program. And there's a lot of what I like to call the old guard. There's still a few of those old timers out there. And I'm sure Mike will agree with me. You're not going to find better quality than some of these gentlemen. And we recently had a few gentlemen retire, which is sad to say, but some of us are trying to keep the bloodlines going. And once you get started, I'm pretty confident in talking for Branton here. I said, you're going to get hooked. And he did with the good hits. So
I think that was one of the things for me too, is I don't really talk about it a lot on the channel, but one of the reasons I keep a lot of these fish is that a lot of the majority of Gadaeids originated in Metro Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Jim Langhammer from Robert Rush Miller at the University of Michigan.
Uh-huh.
The reason we have Gadaeids in the hobby is this area.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I agree.
And I want to keep that going because it seems like I'm not young by any means, but I think that generation is aging out. The guys that hung out with Langhammer and those guys are getting, and they're probably in their 70s. I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
They're aging out. And I want to kind of keep that history.
Yes, sir.
Here in Michigan, that's something that's kind of because those guys aren't going to be around forever.
Yeah, that's right. And it's our way of honoring the work they've done.
Right.
Yeah. I saw real quick in the chat someone's mentioning Andrew. I haven't heard anything from Andrew in a few years. Have you, Mike?
I haven't been over to Chicago in a while. Because they used to have that live bear auction from the Chicago
Right.
Live Bear.
Right.
I always get the names because one was when Rick was there was like association, not one of them was society. They
Gotcha.
changed. Rick moved, and then he I know he had some losses at one point. I think he either had someone feeding his fish or something happened to his fish, and he was getting new ones. Like I've not seen him, but I've not, like I said, I've not been to Chicago for a fish thing in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if I went, I'd have to go down there and see. He was generally kind of at the ALAs and stuff too. He'd kind of appear,
Mm-hmm.
out of the at those too. Like I've met him quite a few times, and he and I would talk occasionally, at ALAs or Chicago when I'd go over there.
Right.
But I haven't been to Chicago in a while, so not sure. I have not really seen much from him in a long time.
Yeah, it's like I think his last post on YouTube was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, maybe he got burned out of the YouTube thing, which does happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look now. You got me curious. I'm gonna look it up real quick, see if he's posted anything. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, the last video was 3 years ago.
Yeah, and it's a shame. I mean, I hope everything's okay. I really do, because he was really contributing a lot to our hobby.
Yeah, I think. I wonder if he may be just one of those people though. He just has the fish.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see him on YouTube anymore, right? Because which is easy to do because I think people get their own little silos in their local area, right?
Yeah, sure.
And then you kind of don't branch out, you don't talk to the internet per se.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a ton of a lot of our club is a lot of older gentlemen, older folks, and a lot of them don't. I mean, we have a guy who's a Hall of Fame guppy breeder in our club, but I mean, if I gave you guys his name, none of you would know who he was.
Yep, there's quite a few of those we both know, and critically endangered. There's a lot of them, and that's one of the things with the ALA, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, is that there are a lot of. I hate calling them old timers because to me that sounds disrespectful.
Oh, I know.
I like to I use the term. So I used to breed parrots, and there used to be ladies and gentlemen in the hobby that were in it for years, and they were the ones that were, for lack of a better term, the guardians of the genetics for birds. And I find that same thing with fish. So I like to call them the guardians of the genetics, or the old guard, because they looked at things a completely different way than most people do, and sometimes we can learn from that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I generally make a point to go talk to. There's a couple of good aid guys that are here from the original, from Langhammer's friends, and I make a point to talk to them when I see them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Sorry, I'm multitasking here, folks.
So outside in Aquatic says they'll be at the Greenwater, probably like the Swapper Club meeting. The leader of the Chicago Library Club is usually there.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I know. Yeah, I actually bought fish from him one time. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I know.
I think me and Kyle had him on a live stream at one
That
point.
sounds familiar. I was wondering if you guys did.
It's like John something. I think I have my list up. I'll look.
Speaking of Kyle, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm looking at my list. So
I apologize, Mike.
no worries.
I said, speaking of Kyle, I see the man's in the chat. I didn't get to say hello yet. I hope you're doing okay, buddy. Brant, I just sent that over to you, friend.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to make this work for us here.
HHD, don't be that impressed with me, buddy, because I have to really focus. I usually can't multitask like this. I pretty much impressed myself.
You got to send me the StreamYard link, Ed. Not the YouTube link.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If I do that, I'll try it, but because when I did the one for the stream, it wouldn't take this one.
Is it John Hornung? That could be the name right there.
That was Bob Sternfield.
Oh, Bob, that's right. Okay, yep. That's it. Okay, that's okay.
Bob Sternfield, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, I think he's floats around like the Chicago area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got a private message from Mickey Tobler a couple nights ago. The tower eye that I sent him home with a few months ago. He's like, I finally got babies. He goes, why didn't you tell me those babies are so big? I'm like, hard to believe. He said, they're the size of guppies. I said, yep.
Yeah, he came to see you in during the clash, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to go to the clash, and I'd forgotten that we had scheduled him over a year ago, and I certainly wasn't going to miss the opportunity to meet him. And I'll tell you what, he is such a genuine guy. We chat a couple times a month, and he asks me how things are going here, and he tells me about what his next field research is and all that. So really nice guy. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the year, he's going to come on my stream and answer questions and stuff. Have you ever met him?
I have not met him. I'm sure I've crossed paths with him at the ALA and stuff.
Yes,
like that.
Sir. Yes,
but I've not ever talked to him. I've never been introduced to him.
Really nice man. Really nice man. All right, Brayton, I sent that to you again. See if that works, buddy.
All right.
Sorry, folks. I don't mean to be rude. Okay, I'm back.
So it was actually kind of funny. When I was looking at this list, I just remembered that actually doing the SCAP program saved me, because for some reason I had deleted my original Google fish list somehow. I don't know how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
My phone was in my pocket or something. I don't know. So I actually, because I did the SCAP program stuff, I had that at least for my G'day information or in my libraries. At least I still had that all that information, so I was able to remake my list.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. So there's certain people in the hobby that I'll send out some of my fish to as a backup, because I'm sure you can agree, any given time, a tank can crash or something can happen to a bloodline.
Oh yeah. I mean, my fish barn, right? I mean, I'm sort of summer tubbing outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, it's heated and everything, but still, I mean, it's Michigan,
Right.
It just takes one power outage in the winter to make things kind of bad out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, it's like, let's just be honest. Tanks crash. And sometimes they, so that's why.
Yeah, there's some stuff I need to start getting out a little bit more. Like I said, the eyes and eye for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is. It's like there are not very many people, at least in my opinion, at least around the area I'm in, that are really working with confirmed bloodlines of the eyes and eye. We're all seeing, there we go.
No.
No.
Hold on.
Sorry, folks. Don't mean to be cryptic. Brandon's working on something for me. But yeah, I was thinking about getting the eyes and eye, but it's like I said, Mike, it's like I've yet to see too many of them available that are the confirmed bloodline.
Well, when we cross paths, I'll get you some.
I appreciate that.
Because they're a confirmed bloodline. I even confirmed, because I got a second group from someone else at Southwest Michigan. And he's like, and I talked to the original guy who has them, and he's like, yeah, I gave them to her. Those are the right fish.
Mm-hmm.
So I've confirmed that they are with the original, group of Langhammer's buddies, that those are they are it.
And you have the original bloodline of Amica splendens brought in from the Michigan Aquarium, right?
Yep, I have the 1966 Amica splendens. Yep.
That's cool.
So now,
what do you need me to do, Branton?
Did it share that in the stream? Yeah, right there. Okay, so now if you can add my other screen to the stage.
Yes, sir. There we go. Guess what we're doing, guys?
That took a while to finagle, but I wasn't gonna let us go without.
Brother, so folks, so here's what's going on, because I don't want you folks thinking I'm being a jerk. I was having trouble setting this up, and I asked Branton to help me. So this is why my brother helps me out, buddy, because I appreciate your help. So,
Yeah.
So we're going to do a giveaway tonight. So what are we going to do? The hashtag?
It's already in there. I just chose one. It's good day.
That works. That works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So you want to? What are we doing? You doing one first, or am I doing?
It doesn't matter. You can go first.
All right. So, guys, some of you may be aware that I have a particular recipe made for my omnivore goodiettes. And I did sell out, but I still have a little bit left. So tonight I'm doing a giveaway for my Omnivore Select. And good news is that I just got confirmation that they will be cooking my recipe for me again at the beginning of the year, and I will have it available. So what you're going to get tonight is my 4-ounce bag of Omnivore Select that I use for my omnivores. It can work for cichlids, any fish. Branton's tried it. So
yeah, I love it.
What do you think about it? So that's what I wanted. All right. So what we'll do is, we'll give everyone the opportunity to put in. So, yeah. But yeah, so I
need some more of that food too, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had this recipe made for me because I wanted, in my fish room, I just prefer to feed foods that are a little bit more easier to digest. So one of the things I tell people, most of the foods I feed are completely digestible, so I don't get a lot of fecal matter in the aquariums. And like Branton, who just recently worked on a shrimp recipe with aquatic provisions, I'm actually working with John right now on a herbivore blend, which is all vegetable, nothing else. So we're hoping to have that available. Well, for what gets me, like spirulina flakes. If spirulina is not the first, second, or third ingredient, what are you feeding? And then anything with a protein level over 38% is omnivore. Or one of the number one things with goodiettes is people feeding too much protein. So
yeah, I've changed that actually from when I was listening to you and Greg.
Yeah,
my mix was generally, because I usually use Extreme,
mm-hmm.
and the mix was a third spirulina, krill, and the SoFly flake.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually increased the ratio now with the vegetable quite a bit, based on the conversation that you guys had. I was like,
so
change that up.
Yeah. So what I have found with Xenotocas, Scyphias, Chaplichthes, a few others, they need a little bit more plant matter. They're herbivores, so their digestive systems are a little longer, and because they have to have enough time to process the heavier product. Plant matter is harder to digest than plant matter, meat matter of some type of protein. So if they're getting too much protein, it blocks and clogs the system, and that's where you get the bloat and constipation. There you go, Nick. I said it again. But I use nori for that, and then a lot of plant-based foods.
Yeah, like I try to make a food that I can feed the entire barn.
Yeah,
right?
I get it. Hey, but I get it. For me, I'm a little bit neurotic that way. I have 20 some different foods I feed, and I just flip them around. But that's my choice. But a lot of the, especially if you've got foods with a lot of byproduct to them, it really can wreak havoc on the goodiettes. So
yeah, so like I said, I've switched it up a little bit now. So it's about half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About half vegetable, and then the other half is the is the SoFly, and so it's working out better. I think pretty good so far. This is the first month I've done it. But.
Yeah. So I can honestly say, so I talked to Greg about it a while back, and I said, and he said, try plant, and I wanted to find something that was a limited ingredient single source. And then it came to me to try the nori. And I'm in the process of negotiating. I'm hoping to have it in the new year. I may be offering organic nori that will come to me, and I can take care of it myself. Instead of it being like heated up, it'll just be dried, and then I can make it into a flake myself. So
Yeah, like I used to feed, like when I was in saltwater, I used to feed tangs the sheets.
yeah,
You know, you take the nori sheets that you use for like sushi, and you put them on a
yeah,
clip and
yeah.
let them do their thing.
So
And now for this giveaway, are we doing strictly United States?
yes, continental
Okay,
United
because-
States only. So
Because I know, unfortunately, Don's in there. I believe he's overseas, if I'm not.
you know what, Dawn, if you get it, buddy, I will take care of it. For you, yes, sir, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll get it to you. So,
And then winner must be here to claim their prize, or we'll go to second to last.
all right. Shall we get started?
Let's entering. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Great. So,
And make sure you spell it correctly.
Yeah.
It's easy to misspell. I do it all the time, even
Yeah.
though I have like 20 of them in my fish room. I still misspell it like quite a bit.
well, what's funny is sometimes I'll make a mistake on my YouTube videos, and I call myself out. I just leave them in and then correct it in captions, because it's like, we're all human. We make mistakes, and I get a kick out of it. People are like, why don't you just edit that? Because I want people to realize all of us can make mistakes. And there was one thing I did one time, and I just left it and then corrected it. And every time I see it now, it's so funny.
Yeah,
But,
I get a little neurotic about that with videos. Unfortunately, like I'm like, it has to be like sound right, be right. Speaking of that, though, I did a care guide on cracking on Audax this weekend.
I saw it.
Came out this weekend, and I realized that they had changed it to lateralis, and I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it.
I was talking with someone about that in another stream. I can appreciate the research they've done, but I'm still personally not completely convinced of that. I have to read into a little more.
I figured that I was within this statute of limitations.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can get away with it, and then just be like, because I made the video like about a month ago or so,
Right.
and I as I was going through it at the end of the video, I'm like, wait, I was in the Good Aid working group doing some of the research just to make sure I have my facts straight and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, that says lateralis on it.
Mm-hmm.
Audax isn't there. I'm like, oh.
That literally just happened a few months ago. So, and when I question this is absolutely not anything against the group. I find I just need to read a little bit more on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I want to see the DNA test that says
Exactly. You know, if they've done that, I'd like to see what that is, if it correlates, and actually read it and understand it. And what's beautiful is, if I don't know everything that's on there, I have friends that are research specialists that can help me with it. I really want to learn. I'm not saying anyone's sending out the wrong information, but something like that, when I specialize in cracodons, I want to be certain. And again, it's not a poor reflection on the Good Aid working group at all.
No.
I just, I'll say this. I'm one of the old school guys. So when they did this to Corey's, my head almost imploded.
Yeah, it was funny though, because I realized they've started to do some work on that page a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
And they've changed all the ESUs. I don't know if you've noticed that they've changed the ESUs to be longer now.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, say Chapel 1 or where it'll be Chapel 1 /
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're getting a little bit more pinpoint directive in where the locations were, I think.
Yeah, like the one tower eye that we were talking about, I actually have the GPS locations for that. That came with like the GPS coordinates of the ditch that they pulled them out of.
Yeah.
Lack of a better word. I mean, it was literally, I looked it up on Google Maps and it was like, oh, it's literally just like a ditch in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, well, that's like with my robustus. Um, it's literally like this big, like
Yeah.
all the information, but I can type that into a GPS and it'll take me right to the point where they were collected, which I think is pretty cool.
Do you have like the Lago di Zaccapu ones?
No,
Okay, that's the ones I have.
I know I
think
don't
Rick
have
had a
that.
bunch of those. Rick
My-
Worsey had a bunch of those.
Mine, I'll tell you what, they're getting really big. And I tell you that people said they were aggressive. I'm shocked at how aggressive they are.
There, yeah. Yeah. I've got like 3. I've never bred them.
Hmm.
I put them in a tub and they were fine in the tub.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah,
kind of I found mine to be kind of shy. They're kind of reclusive.
rocks. So I put a ton of rock. So in their tank it's a
I'm gonna be right back.
All right, you okay? So I did a 75 gallon and I set up the rocks like a grotto. And
Okay.
that seems to be, they feel secure with that, but they're at the point now too where they're coming out a lot. They weren't doing that at first. So
I actually put in some rainbow fish as dithers for them when they were
Yep.
in the.
how are they doing with the rainbows?
Okay, they were okay in the tubs.
Mhm.
I only have one of the rainbows left now, so I need to move it to what I don't know, what do you want to call it, the random fish tank that has all the in it that are just there.
Mm-hmm. Brandon is MIA. Yeah, my goodieads, not goodieads, trout goodieads are. I have some of them. They're starting to age out. Some of them are about 4.5 inches now. I'm moving this weekend into a 75. So
I actually got most of my trout goodies from a gentleman that was getting out of the hobby. Like we had a guy in our local club that I never had met him, but he kind of reached out to the club. He had some health concerns and he was getting out. And he had this 29-gallon tank that was chock full of them.
Yeah.
And the way he had them was kind of funny. He had Java fern just floating on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually kept that. I moved them into a 75.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept that setup. I put all the Java fern on the top. I took some of the Java fern from him too.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the top. But those fish, and I actually bought some levamisole from Greg because I was like, there's a couple of fish that seem to be having like the live bear disease, and those were one of them. They would just kind of like waste away like one at a time, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I treated them the other day actually.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that will kind of take care of that.
That levamisole works miracles. And what's interesting about not too many people are carrying it anymore. And it's worked for me. So I had a line of Scyphia that was like that I had to treat. They would be fine, and then all of a sudden they just start wasting away. And treated with the levamisole, and now the bloodline is doing really well. So
I did that with a couple of different things actually. There was a couple of things I was kind of concerned with, and there was my Limia Islay colony was another one that was like you would see them just every so often. I'd see one just kind of.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, like, so I went through and did that the other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do like 30 more seconds of people entering, and then we'll get to spinning.
All right. How many are we at? Looks like we got quite a few.
20. Let me refresh. Yeah, still at 20.
So I got to say something, guys. This is the very first official stream we've done and the first giveaway. So I appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, Mike, helping me out today, buddy. I appreciate it.
Not a problem anytime.
Yeah. So
whatever you want me to come on, I'll be happy to come on. Wednesdays are a pretty good night for me. So
well, I appreciate that a lot, buddy. I really do. So we're going to be giving away a 4-ounce bag of my fish food, my recipe that I feed to my omnivore fish. You can feed it to a little bit of everything. Brant, and you've tried it with just about everything.
Eats it. Yep.
So I have it infused with garlic, and garlic really boosts the immune system. And I try to find something to give them in their diet that has garlic, and it's seems to help a lot, and it also aids in digestion. So like I said, this is a blend that I have specially made for me, and they can only make it for me at certain times of the year. I usually get maybe 3 or 4 times a year where they can make it for me. So it's not something I can just grab at any given time. So I usually have to buy at minimum 50 pounds when I get it. And then I get it a couple times a year. And I just talked to the people that make this for me, and I'll have it sometime, probably, I'm thinking end of January, beginning of February. So
Nice.
I sold a lot of it the last time and all that. And it's one of those things that people are like, well, I ran out now, and I appreciate that. But this isn't like a food I can just place an order. I have this specially made for me. And I don't have a lot of storage, so I'll usually have them cook for me 50 pounds and have it sent to me. So when that depletes down, if it depletes down and they're not cooking again, it's kind of hard for me to get replenishment until that time. So that's what this is. So, but I'm really partial to the food. I see a difference in my fish. They're really active around, like they munch it down quick. So, all right, shall we get started?
Yeah, I'm going to give Foxy 1 second to enter the hashtag since she just got in. And then
Hi, Foxy. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Foxy.
If she wants to. We're not going to force her.
Looking in this chat, see if there's anything.
Then yeah, I guess we can just do one wheel. I'll throw up mine as well.
Okay. Whatever works, buddy.
Yeah, whoever comes in second to last can go ahead and win some foods from Aquatic Provisions from John.
Good food.
Yeah. So I got the Tubifine and the Community Granules, the small ones. So good for your smaller fish. I really like John's food. I think he does a good job.
John's a good guy. John's approachable, and he'll answer your questions. And all my freeze dried and stuff that I feed comes from John. And it's quality. That's the difference. Quality.
So there's those two there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the little bottles. They're nice. You can just go to every tank and kind of shake them in.
Yeah.
But all right. And then the first 2 people off will also be receiving a pack of the Fish Room Punks Horrible Fish Keeper series. So I got 2 of these that I can give away. So the first 2 off will get one of these.
There you go. Shall we go?
Oh, hold on. I gotta get on the right screen. Here we go. Refresh one more time.
There we go.
And we're off. So, Big Steve, you get a pack of Fish Room Punks. You got my number. Go ahead and message me and remind me that I need to send that to you.
We weren't thinking when we did this, we should have had Willow get on with us.
Yeah.
It's probably getting, I was going to say, it's probably getting late for her.
Sleeping. Yeah. So, Steve, shoot me a message. And then I believe that's Xanadu. So, Xanadu, if you want to shoot me a message, I think you got me on Facebook. I know you got my email, but get a hold of me. And then everybody else until the last 2 suck. So Cheryl, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Cher.
JM Aqua. I don't know some of these handles, so
yeah, some of these, yeah.
Yeah, if I don't know it, sorry.
But we appreciate you stopping in. That's great. Keep watching.
Lance, you suck.
Yeah, it was funny. I was watching a TikTok of they did the Wheel of You Lose for like every county in the United States, and then they just at the last one, whichever county won, I don't remember. I think it was in like Virginia or somewhere. They would actually, the person who was doing the TikTok actually went to that county after they did all like 3,000 counties or whatever it was.
That's crazy. Well, I know my county wouldn't win. That's for sure.
Trying to remember, I was kind of, speaking of which, I should keep my mouth shut.
Mike. Sorry, I forget that it's going to play music every time, and I kind of cut you off there. Let's see, I think there's a way I can turn that. Yeah, I can kind of turn it down.
The volume.
Foxy,
sorry. Skip. Hey, how did I miss you? How did I not see you in the chat, sir?
I think he was in lurker mode, I think.
Yeah, he heard giveaway and he decided to talk.
Gotcha.
SC. Gone. D-Rock. You are also gone. Jody P, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jody.
You are gone.
Audra. Sorry. Stan
definitely sucks. Yeah, Jesse sucks too.
I remember when I did the one with Steven, the first time I did it, like I got to like almost the very end, and then like I never got close again until like I won like one of them one time.
I actually won Steven's not last week, but the week before, and I gotta say it feels good to have finally won a wheel of that magnitude. There's a lot of names on Steven's wheel.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I mean, I won a towel. I mean, but still, it was like, hey, I won. Like,
and see.
Hey, Nathan. Sorry, buddy. How did I miss these folks? I didn't see them in the chat.
Nick, you suck.
Nick, you get a 3D right there.
Yes, it was the Sleeper Barbecues limited edition towel. Yes, no, but it was I wasn't complaining about that at all. But it was like, yeah, it was like, hey, I finally won.
Nice.
So, I always need towels. So,
right, exactly.
Jonathan, you're gone.
Get close to the end, looks like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6 left.
Oh, Mike. Sorry, buddy.
And then there were 4. So we got Don, Joel. I don't know Tina. I don't know handle.
So Tina's asking about the wheel. So the wheel, they basically spin and take people off of the wheel until you get to the last 2 people, and then those last 2 people will win a prize.
And we got better. Well, in this case, it's the last 4. So everybody on the wheel is a winner.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Or no, I'm sorry. It's the last two.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's why I was like,
I was confused.
I was like, what else are you getting away?
Yeah. All right.
the last
So-
two.
I guess what I was thinking is we need to remember these 4 in case somebody isn't here to claim their prize.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know.
Here, I'll take a
Tina,
picture. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me get.
I don't know how to do that from my computer, honestly.
There's something called the snipping tool, and you can do it. And then you can just take it. You can like drag it and take a little picture of it.
Yeah,
I will
that's beyond me.
Yeah, I will have to try that at some point.
Yeah.
All right, I have a picture of it. So
I'll
Thank you,
snip and
sir.
sketch. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that now. I'll mess it up. All right, final 4. Tina, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Tina.
Got Joel,
Uncle
Gone.
Smiley. Sorry, buddy.
and then the winner of this. Well, I guess
excuse me.
you said you would take care of Don, so I don't know if you just if we want to do Beto gets the aquatic provisions and
I can
You
do
send-
that. I can do that. I can do that. Dawn, just email me through my YouTube channel or on my website, buddy, and I will get that to you.
Now we gotta make sure he's here.
Yeah.
So Don, if you're here, type in the chat. I see Beto's here. Beto and Don's here. All right. Let's play it out just to see how it would go. Okay, so it would have been.
It would
the
have worked
opposite.
out. Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Okay.
All right. Well,
So
congrats, everyone.
So I'm doing Dawn, correct?
Correct.
All right. Sorry, I should have known that. Yeah, Dawn, you can either message me through the YouTube channel, friend, my Facebook business page, or website, and we'll get it taken care of. So.
Yep. And Beto, just shoot me a message as like a little reminder. I already have your address, but just be like, hey, send me my food. And then, what was it? Steve and Xanadu. Make sure you guys message me and remind me about the Fish Room Punks packs. My brain is not what it used to be. So I think once you have kids, your brain capacity is shrunk significantly.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah, that could be it too.
I'm just getting old.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then once you recover from the lack of sleep, then you get old, and then
Yep. Yeah.
So-
So,
So then, yeah, if you want to remove that from the stage, you can just boot that account. Actually, there you go.
okay. There we go. Cool.
Awesome.
So, well, folks, want to thank Mike for stopping in and chatting with us tonight.
no
Brant,
problem.
you're welcome back anytime, buddy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, this is fun. I enjoy
yeah.
it.
And Branton, thanks, buddy. You know how much it means to me.
Yeah.
You and Kyle got me. Well, you and Kyle were one of the first streams I did, other than Jeff's, and you made me feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
Now you created this. It's all your fault.
Hey, I can live with that.
So, hey, I want to thank everyone for stopping in this evening. Next week, I don't plan on doing any streaming because of Thanksgiving, but hopefully in the next few weeks, I will have my friend Rich Terrell on, who is a marine biologist, and he's been a curator of a couple of aquariums throughout the country. And I think we're going to talk about mitigation in a fish room, isolation procedures, and disease diagnosis. So that might be a really good stream to check out. So
Yeah.
want to thank everyone for coming in tonight. Thanks so much for your support. It means a lot to me. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you guys later.
See you guys later.